It's not working. It's not working. Oh, it's working. It's working. Oh, Jesus. I got a big stick.
All right,
That's
and
all I
that
had.
is the opening to the Brown Mamba
he
Show,
was recording.
episode 24. Matt, give me a player that is 24. I can't think of any good players who are number 24, at least when it comes to basketball. Charles Woodson.
Charles, yeah,
Paul
that's
George,
not a basketball player.
Paul George.
Yeah,
Moses Malone.
Ticking me off.
Miguel Cabrera. Champ Bailey. Dude, Champ Bailey's my guy.
Champ Bailey's overrated.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Interception or get freaking exposed on a deep freaking pass.
All right. I didn't realize this is the.
He's like a special needs Deion
all of
Sanders.
Our bad takes.
He's like a special needs Deion Sanders, dude.
Okay. All right.
He does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and he shouldn't get in. Is he in yet? I think he's up this year, and he shouldn't get in.
I'm pretty sure he's up for nomination this year.
It should be Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, Randy Moss.
Randy Moss already got in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Are you lying? Dude, I can't put this big stick away.
Randy Moss.
Are you freaking lying? Are you freaking lying?
I'm pretty sure he got in last year. He got in 2018.
Oh, yeah, it's quiet. Okay. Well, Peyton Manning's up this year. I know that.
2020 Hall of Fame.
I know Manning and Woodson need to get in this year.
Clay Matthews Sr. needs to get in there.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah, for Brown standards. Leroy Butler still needs to get in. Hello, the creator of the Lambeau Leap. Can I get a hello?
May you get a hello.
John Lynch shouldn't get in yet because there's other safeties that need to get in before him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the 20. This would be the 2021 Hall of Fame inductees. What are we looking here?
Isaac Bruce, or is it Torrey Holt? One of those two.
Jared Allen.
One of those guys. Oh yeah, he should probably get in. He was pretty good.
You think so?
He had a pretty good years with the Vikings and Chiefs, right?
I mean, Peyton Hillis had a couple good years, but that doesn't mean
he should. And he had one.
1.5.
No, this isn't Lion King sequels.
All right, so Jared Allen, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, Charles
No,
Woodson.
Calvin Johnson does not get in first ballot, all right? You can't just quit and feel bad for me because I'm a Lion. I was elite for a few years. No, that's not an excuse.
He's
if you want to be a first ballot
wide receiver of all time.
That's fine. And so was who's the freaking running back for the Bengals that got hurt before he could freaking start a career? Kajana Carter. He could have been one of the most talented running backs, but guess what? Didn't have longevity.
Calvin Johnson actually started his career and was the most elite wide receiver in the NFL for at least 5 to 7 years.
You see, everyone says that now, but when Calvin Johnson was in the league, except for maybe 2 to 3 year span, he was never considered the best wide receiver in the NFL. He was never. It was always Larry Fitzgerald. It was always Randy Moss. It was always someone in front of him.
No.
Yes. Yes. He had that one monster year, and then after that, a few years after that, and maybe a year before that, I would consider him the best receiver. But suddenly, the tide has shifted to him being this all-time great wide receiver, when in reality, he was just a really good. I would call him an elite wide receiver, but he was never, for his entire career, the most talented / the greatest wide receiver.
Yes, he was. Anybody who was saying it was Randy Moss was the most talented wide receiver while Calvin Johnson was still playing was riding off that high in 2007 when Moss and Brady were together. After that,
it started Moss, Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald was never the best wide receiver in the NFL in all the years he played. No, absolutely not.
Am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah, you are hearing me correctly.
Oh, and the same thing goes for Frank Gore. I heard a few people say, dude, Frank Gore was like the best running back in the league for like 5 years. I'm like, he was never
the best running back. Now, Frank Gore
he was top 10 probably on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Barely ever top 5, top 3.
Frank Gore deserves to get into the Hall of Fame just because of all the numbers
he's put up. The consistency.
Yeah. But you cannot tell me that Calvin Johnson's not a first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver.
He's not. Had he played a few more years, maybe.
Oh my God. Oh my
He's
god.
got some great numbers. Do you believe? Okay, I don't know how to put this.
Between Champ Bailey and Calvin Johnson, you really are attacking two of the most talented
Dude, Champ Bailey was
players at those
absolute.
positions
He,
ever.
he spent like 3 years too many in the NFL.
Okay, that's fine. So did Randy Moss. So's Tom Brady.
Oh yeah. I'll give it. Tom Brady's going through a pretty bad slump right now, so I can't even really defend him.
He's been going
We'll
through
see
a
how he
bad
does.
slumps for like the past 3 years. Ever since that Falcons Super Bowl game, he's been horrible.
No, I don't think so. This year it's been pretty rough, but he had some good moments this year. He had some good moments.
Okay, so Reggie Wayne deserves to be in there.
I'll give you Reggie Wayne, absolutely.
John Lynch. Nah.
Uh,
Torrey
maybe.
Holt.
Dude, Torrey Holt's got some good numbers.
Ronnie Harrison.
Was he the Patriots safety?
Yeah, right? That's Ronnie Harrison, right?
Yeah.
No, didn't he play for the Falcons? Am I going crazy?
I thought he played for. I know he played for the Patriots.
No, yeah, he was the Patriots. Yeah, you're right.
So he's got to have at least a couple rings.
Fred Taylor.
He'll probably eventually get in. He's kind of like that Frank Gore. He's kind of like a Frank Gore running back, you know?
All right. Oh,
Leroy
my
Butler.
God. I cannot believe you just attacked Champ Bailey and Calvin Johnson within like 5 minutes of each other. No, we're not.
Dude, Calvin Johnson, how long did he play? From 07 to 2016? Dude didn't even play. He played 10 years.
That's 10 seasons. That's good.
Not in today's NFL. If he was. Dude, Don Hudson in the 30s played 11 seasons in the NFL. And that's when they drank beer and were getting paid in milk cartons.
No, Calvin Johnson didn't just play 10 seasons. He played from 2007 to 2015, so 9 seasons, right?
Even worse than I thought. I got
7,
the thing.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9 seasons. Okay. He didn't just play 9 seasons in the NFL. He played 9 seasons as an elite wide receiver in the NFL.
All right. So
if you play more than 7 seasons as an elite player at your position, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm looking something up. Please shut your mouth.
Okay.
No, wait. Please keep talking.
This is really good for a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, please shut up. This is a podcast. Please stop talking while I also
say
don't
this as
talk.
well. Heinz Ward doesn't deserve to belong in the Hall of Fame.
Steelers Hall of Fame, absolutely. There's just too many receivers that always come in, and it's like Heinz Ward's making his way up, and then it's like, oh, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, freaking Calvin Johnson, all these guys. It's like, okay, yeah, Heinz Ward. It's gonna take him to like die until he gets in. That's usually he's one of those guys.
Does Rondé Barber deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? He played a long career.
He was really
15 years.
He was really good. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Okay, Calvin Johnson, first year. You know, he's a rookie. He's learning. Only 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, but it's all good. You know, he still got to get touches for Roy Williams and Mike Fury. Second year, he came out swinging. The next year, he got hurt, so he didn't quite get 1,000. Okay, so like from 2010 to 2013, I think that's where you really consider him the best wide receiver in football.
And this
so he had a little stretch. I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's too many other people that need to get in.
That stretch from 2010 to 2013, he was getting triple teamed on every play, though. You got to realize that.
What do you want? Oh, my mom's just dancing in the background. She needs attention or something. Sorry. And she's flipping me off. Okay. But okay, hold on. Let me pull it back up.
Darrelle Revis, that's another good 24.
Wait, is he up this year?
No. I'm just still looking at players with 24. Hello, Mrs.
My mom said hi.
Mrs. Mamba.
Okay, she's gone now. So what would you say is Calvin Johnson's, like, where he's considered the best receiver? What timeline would you give him?
What's the question?
So, like, from what year to what year is he considered the best receiver in football? Or do you just think from, like, when he was a rookie till he retired?
2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 is when I would consider him the best wide receiver in football.
Yo, what the frick? I guess Larry Fitzgerald's not a thing.
Bro, Larry Fitzgerald, great wide receiver, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He was never the best wide receiver in the NFL. People want to talk about Michael Thomas catching slants over the middle. That's Larry Fitzgerald's entire career is 5-yard slants.
That's Larry Fitzgerald's entire. How about yards after catch, my dude? I'm looking at Larry Fitzjabber right now.
Let's look at Larry Legends.
Holy cow! And he's doing this with mediocre quarterback play. Say what you want about Matt Stafford. You say whatever you want about the Detroit Lions, but don't say Calvin Johnson never had a quarterback. Matthew Stafford can absolutely feed Calvin Johnson.
When did Matt Stafford start becoming Matt Stafford? What, 2011? 2012?
He was a rookie in 2009, so work from there. It took him a few years to really get going, but...
Yeah, all right. 2011 is when Stafford threw for 5,000 yards. So, yeah.
That's because you also got to factor in the fact that the Lions just never had a running game. But you could also make that a positive just because, it's like the defense knew the Lions were going to pass, and Calvin Johnson, I feel like I don't need to... I'm not dissing Calvin Johnson. I'm just saying he didn't play long enough. And the myth of him because he retired early, he's not Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders was the best running back in football.
Sure.
From whenever he played.
Sure.
I'm just saying that's not Calvin Johnson.
All right. I'm going to look through every single one of these years. We're going to look from 2010 to 2012. 2010 to 2015. The wide receivers from each year, and you would tell me which wide receiver was better. So, let's go.
Wait, we're just going to go year by year?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Why not? All right, so 2010.
I got enough.
2010 receiving. We're just going to go by the top yard receivers. Brandon Lloyd, I don't think so. Roddy White, I don't think so. No. Reggie Wayne, I don't think so. Greg Jennings, I don't think so. Mike Wallace, I don't think so. Andre Johnson had such a weird NFL career, but I don't think so. Dwayne Bowe, the man that robbed the Browns of $9 million, I don't think so. Larry Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson are 8 and 9.
Okay.
Calvin Johnson had 6 more touchdowns than Larry Fitzgerald.
I think everyone, even I was sleeping on Andre Johnson. This man made Matt Schaub look like an elite quarterback. He had to deal with Derek Carr. He had to deal with freaking Matt Schaub, freaking TJ Yates.
But I'm looking at that list. I'll just read off a few more. Santana Moss, Steve Johnson, and Deshaun Jackson. None of them belong in that conversation. I'm looking at this list. Mm-hmm. I don't see a wide receiver better than Calvin Johnson, besides maybe Andre Johnson. I think you have a point there with Andre Johnson that he had some legit numbers. Like Reggie Wayne, Hall of Fame wide receiver, should be in their first ballot and everything. But he had an absurd Peyton Manning thrown at him that year. That was probably one of Peyton's best years, was that 2010 run.
Okay.
Now, let's go to 2011. Receiving. We'll sort by yardage again. Number 1, Calvin Johnson.
Sure.
After that goes Wes Welker, Victor Cruz, Larry Fitzgerald, Steve Smith, Rob Gronkowski, Jimmy Graham, Roddy White, Jordy Nelson. Not seeing anybody there.
Jordy Nelson.
Stop it. 2012. All
right. Let's do it.
This could be easier if I just did that. Calvin Johnson put up 1,900 yards. The next closest person was Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, that's the year.
At 1,500, and the year
you don't have to waste your breath. Right. I know.
Best wide receiver
Great
that year.
Season. Right.
2013. Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown, and Calvin Johnson.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
After that,
Antonio Brown,
Thomas.
and also guess who's coming onto the scene, but none other than Julio Jones.
Yeah, that was.
So he's coming onto the scene too, and AJ Green had a couple of elite years as well. AJ Green had
some good years as well. But Calvin Johnson
I don't want to be trashing Calvin Johnson. I made my point.
And I'm
And you
making
only
my
proved it.
point that he is a first
You're
ballot
only
Hall of
proving
Famer
it.
because he was the best wide receiver for what 5, 6, 7 years.
You just said we just debunked Andre Johnson. We also just debunked Julio Jones is coming up. Antonio Brown is going to have some ridiculous years. Josh Gordon, once he gets off the weed, he's going to have some monster years. Although I think Brandon Weeden made Josh Gordon look better than he really was.
There's kind of it's starting to become that's kind of the truth is that Josh Gordon and Brandon Weeden couldn't succeed without each other.
They were made for each other.
I literally Brandon Weeden just hey let's chuck it down there 40 yards and
Heck
hopefully
yeah.
Josh Gordon comes up and catches it in double team. I mean, that was almost a winning formula.
Almost.
Almost.
But we didn't like to throw to the other team a little too much.
And Josh Gordon liked the weed too much.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Mays is a good 24, so is Ken Griffey. Ricky Anderson.
Yeah. Those guys, totally. Best 24s out there.
Oh, I think Willie Mays is probably the best 24 of all time. And
Hello?
Willie Mays is one of the best baseball players of all time.
I would agree.
He might be the best baseball player of all time.
I don't agree.
Who is?
Carlos Santana.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm glad we just got off of that rant. Man, you made me really mad just dissing Champ Bailey and Calvin Johnson like that.
I stand by the Champ Bailey one wholeheartedly.
No. I don't know how.
And I stand by Calvin Johnson not being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, I can understand your point about Calvin Johnson not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's wrong, but I can understand your point.
That's all I ask for.
I just don't understand the Champ Bailey one whatsoever.
I just need you to understand my idiocy, all right? I don't need you to agree with me and join my cult. I just need you to understand it.
All right, Matt. You want to move on from this?
Yeah, sure. I'm out of stuff to say. I've been out of stuff to say for a while now.
All right. So I've been I just started recently rewatching something that I used to watch all the time when I was a kid and growing up.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, well, that is on Netflix, and I have watched a good amount of that.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is. But I was thinking when I was watching this, I was watching, and I was like, in an alternate universe, I could see this guy being a good Joker. And while I was watching Jackass, and I heard Johnny Knoxville's laugh.
Oh yeah, he's got a little bit of that laugh.
I think Johnny Knoxville could be a good Joker. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Johnny Knoxville is a past his prime 70-year-old Joker who's just he got out of jail one last time and he's just gonna go for it. That's what I picture Johnny Knoxville's Joker.
I think,
especially when I hear his laugh.
I would be down for a movie of Johnny Knoxville as a Joker. I think he'd be very entertaining.
And I want the real Batman to just absolutely just kick him every time there's a kick or a punch. He takes it.
It's real. It's actually real.
Yes.
No, I've been watching all the Jackasses lately. Oh my God, there's something.
There's a good time.
There's something just so genius about something so simple like that. Because
you overcomplicate. Don't overcomplicate things.
And that's
just get a bunch of idiots to just torture each other in creative ways.
That's the thing.
Great.
It's the creative ways that really just are just mind blowing. 3D is probably I don't know if 3D is my favorite Jackass. The first one is probably the best. That I could watch.
They kind of blend together. I can't even try to distinguish them from each other. It's just they're all clumped together in my mind.
Oh man, they're so funny though. Like that teeter-totter bull riding one is stuff like that is so creative. Like yes, they can just go into an arena with a bull and just get hit.
Right.
That'd be funny in itself. But no, they got to add these elements to it of these teeter-totterings. Like Steve-O snorting wasabi. There's just something so simple about that. But it's absolutely hilarious. I'm so excited for this fourth one to be coming out.
Someone's gonna die. Someone might die.
These guys, I don't know how these guys' bodies can do this anymore.
I don't know. I think the greatest thing about the movies is you have this big contraption set up with this big buildup, and then once that's done, they just go to a kick in the nuts or something really simple. And it's that's great too.
Yeah, but and you made a point about not oversimplifying it, but I think that's what they do perfectly. Is that they oversimplify it so much that it gets the same result as as something just so simple, like the tetherball beehive. That is so
Oh,
just it's so stupid, but it's hilarious. I love that. Oh god, what was the one? Oh, they were they were right behind a jet engine, and they're like throwing up footballs.
oh, that one was so good. That was so freaking good.
Yeah, the
How
they,
did they get permission for that?
the creativity that they get from those, perfect,
Mhm.
just perfect. Oh, when Johnny Knoxville and Butterbean were boxing in the mall,
Oh yeah.
and then Knoxville gets knocked out, and then he wakes up, he's like, "Is Butterbean okay?" Like, there's like it's just so small. Like, that's like a minute and a half bit, but it's just
Right.
hilarious and perfect in every single way. And just that entire wrap up from beginning to end. Oh man, I love those. I could watch those over and over again and not get sick of them.
But they're gonna die one day.
Yeah, they are gonna die one day.
So let's just say in the future this fourth one just makes a dumb amount of money. Do they do a fifth one?
I think they're done.
Or is this, or is this
I,
is this
I,
like the final curtain call?
I think this is it. I mean, I think Steve-O and Knoxville were both very hesitant about this in the first place. This fourth one,
Yeah, because they don't need the money.
right? I mean, it's not like Margera needs the money. He might, I don't know, but him, Chris Ponus, Wee Man, like I'm pretty sure like all of them are at least decently well off from now on, and they are C to D tier actors where they can make appearances on shows here and there and still get that money from time to
Or even
time.
just podcasts to
Yeah,
freaking talk about stories and junk.
right. Oh man, I'd like to have Chris Ponus or Preston or Wee Man on here. That'd be fun. We don't have money to pay him though, but um, but no,
I have this Sherwin Williams paint stirring stick I can pay you with.
I don't see a fourth, or I don't see a fifth one happening.
Yeah, I think this really is it, regardless of what of the box office or whatever
I mean,
whatever happens.
I hope there is. I'll watch them until they're done making them.
I'd watch a bunch of 80-year-olds just absolutely try to kill each other.
Yeah.
It's like one of them's on hospice and they go unplug. Let's do this. I don't. That's maybe that, not that.
I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is me taking out my feeding tube. All right. Matt, you have a story about Halloween 2 that we've been sitting on for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want to hear this. What's going on about Halloween 2?
It's about this.
Okay.
All right. I didn't want to own this. Well, I kind of did, but I wasn't going to buy it. All right. So I was doing some early Christmas shopping about a month ago.
Okay.
And me and my brother went into a Target, and I was looking at all the like action figure junk that's by the movies.
Sure.
And I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then I walked away, and I was looking at movies, but my brother was still over there. And then in comes this obnoxious little freaking brat kid, and he like literally like puts his hips into my brother, knocks him out of the way, and I'm like, "Oh my god, please don't assault this kid in public, please." So he didn't. He walked away, and then the kid starts talking about like, "Oh, mom, look at this sick Halloween 2 thing. I want this for Christmas. I want it so bad. I've been so good." And then the mom was like, "No, you already picked something out. We're gonna look around the rest of the store, and then if you don't find anything else, we'll come back and get this." She shouldn't have said that out loud.
Right.
So the second he walked away, I freaking scooped this thing.
Nice.
And then I like called my brother because I don't know where he went. And I'm like, "We gotta go. We gotta freaking go." And so I freaking bought this thing. And then like right as I was going to check out, I saw the mom and kid head back toward these things. And I'm like, yes, I am going to absolutely ruin this mother's night because that brat little kid is going to be crying about this for the next week. And that's it. I just wanted to share this because I'm really proud. This is like a trophy for me. You know how like serial killers will like keep like a pinky finger or something?
Sure.
This is my trophy.
Wow.
And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I really don't. This was like also I checked out.
So that's not a DVD like box set or something.
No, it's a little action figure.
Oh, Wow.
Also, the kid was like 8. What the frick are you doing that you're such a big fan of Michael Myers that you want to go out of your way to buy figurines? That kid's messed up. He might shoot his school up soon. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
But yeah. Also, I thought it was like $10 to $20. It turned out to be like $35, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
but I still
You're the
bought it.
real winner in this scenario. You are the.
Yeah, I paid $35 to have something go in a box for the rest of my life. But you
Oh.
know what? Anytime I look at it, I'm gonna picture that little kid's stupid freaking face, and I'm just gonna freaking put freaking tears on his face because he doesn't have this, and he doesn't. He
You
won't, and hopefully his mother doesn't know about Amazon or nothing, because
you should
that
just
would really
you should
take
just
away from my
returned it.
story.
You should have just returned it.
Dang, I should have just returned. Here I am sharing this epic story of revenge and conquering the world of this little kid and absolutely ruining this little kid's life
Right.
along with the mother's. But you're over here just
It
grinding
turns
my
out
gears.
you're the moron all along. How about that?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy about this overpriced piece of plastic that I'm never gonna look at for the rest of my life.
From a
I don't
crappy
care.
movie too.
Halloween 2, yeah. Halloween 2's okay. Compared to the other ones, it's good, but that's not really saying much.
No. All right, Matt, we gotta quickly talk about the new Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody. Did you see previews for that?
I saw a preview a long time, like a month ago.
Oh, really?
Unless I'm thinking of something else. Hold on, let me see. What is it about?
There's a new trailer out. It just
Is it
dropped.
like an action movie?
Yeah, it's basically Better Call Saul meets John Wick.
Yeah, I saw like it probably was like a teaser or something, but I saw something about it. I'm like, is that Bob Odenkirk starring in an action movie?
Yeah, no,
Heck yeah.
the trailer just dropped a couple days ago. Man, it looks awesome. I didn't expect Bob Odenkirk to be an action star, but
Nope.
I'm gonna have a blast watching that movie.
That looks like a fun time. That looks like that. Dude, how old is Bob Odenkirk? He's like almost 60, I want to say.
55, right? 58.
He's 58.
Okay.
He's got bad knees. We learned in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, he's got bad knees.
When you
So I don't
do
know how this is gonna go.
when you do watch the trailer, there is a little Better Call Saul Easter egg in it. I'll let you see. I'll let you see if you can't figure it out. It's something very small, but it's a nice little homage to
Tip of
Better
the
Call
head.
Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
you know, I'm excited for that movie. Bob Odenkirk's great in everything he does. He was in The Office, and he was
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
He was awesome in that. He played like a really good version of Michael Scott.
Yeah, that's when like Pam had to like go to a different Scranton branch when she was like at art school or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Something like that. I was like, oh yeah, that's freaking Saul Goodman, dude.
You know, I love Bob Odenkirk. I hope he gets a Emmy for this. Him and Rhea Seaworth deserve all the Emmys.
Seahorn, yeah,
Seahorn? Is it Seahorn?
yeah.
They deserve all the Emmys for this.
They eventually need to get one.
Did Giancarlo Esposito ever get an Emmy for his stuff on Breaking Bad?
I know he's been nominated. I don't know if he's won
Because that is a man that also
because
deserves an Emmy.
he's supporting actors, and I feel like all those went to Aaron Paul. It was always Cranston and Aaron Paul, and I think
Yeah, you're right.
I think Anna Gunn might have won one too for female supporting something, whatever it is.
Yeah, he got nominated for last year's Emmys for outstanding supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he was a guest actor in a drama series, and he was nominated for that. He's only
Mike Ehrmantraut needs some love too, man.
He's only been nominated twice as an outstanding supporting actor. Only one of them was for Breaking Bad too. I don't know how that happened.
What the heck?
Who won that?
I mean, he was only on for how many seasons? 2 or 3? What was it? Season 2 or 3 he was introduced.
That's a good question. I don't know.
We do research before. It's all good.
It looks like he was in. Okay, so this wiki goes by season 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, because season 5 is with the Nazis.
He was blown up by 5, right? Yeah.
He gets blown up at the end of 4. Spoilers.
Oh, Kick. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad yet, Kick rocks.
Okay, so he
You don't
lost.
deserve to know nothing going in.
He lost the supporting actor in a drama series to Peter Dinklage for Game of Thrones.
Oh, the short guy?
Yeah. And then
Still haven't watched
and then I guess he lost to Billy Crudup from the morning show. I've never seen the morning show. Isn't that with Steve Carell and all of them?
Really? Is that it?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
on Apple TV. I don't know.
Eesh. Yeah, I'll never see it.
But no. Kim Wexler, or well, not Kim, Rhea Seahorn.
Rhea Seahorn. Yeah.
Jonathan Banks deserves something in there too.
Absolutely, dude. He's had some incredible dramatic monologues throughout his days.
Give everybody an Emmy.
Call.
Lalo Salamanca deserves an Emmy. I forget what his actor's name is.
Yeah, I forget. He wasn't in enough seasons yet for me to learn his name.
I'm excited for this final season, how the story arc's gonna wrap up.
It's gonna be juicy.
Lalo's an awesome character. I'm disappointed that he's only been introduced this last season. I'm disappointed we're only getting 2 seasons of that. He's an awesome character.
He's gonna get his own spinoff. It's all good.
I'm down for it. Sure. All right. Let's talk a little NBA, Matt. Has there been any trades or free agency that's really caught your eye, or ask what are they doing? Like the Washington Wizards, why are you giving up a pick and John Wall for Russell Westbrook?
Probably because John Wall's contract is stupid.
But isn't Russell Westbrook's contract also like at least semi-stupid?
It's probably semi-stupid, but not as stupid as John Wall's contract. Let me look it up. Contract. Listen, Russell Westbrook is still a productive fella.
5 years, $206 million.
Ooh. Yeesh.
All right, can we do the math there? That's what?
He will earn a base salary of $41 million in 2020-21.
That's like the exact contract that John Wall has.
But I would say Russell Westbrook's better than John Wall.
I guess. Barely.
Well, what are the Rockets doing trading a mediocre point guard for an even bigger question mark? Is it because Harden and Westbrook really didn't get along? Or they just couldn't meet eye to eye on how the team should be run?
I think the Rockets are just trying to blow that all up and still trying to remain competitive at the same time. They realized that the Westbrook and Harden thing wasn't working, so they're just trying to blow it up and trade both those guys and still get competitive pieces in return.
Harden, Chris Paul, that's not freaking working. All right, Harden, Westbrook. That's good. No, it didn't work. Okay, frick. Harden. And how many washed up point guards are we going to get until we freaking win a championship with James Harden? I think there's a common denominator.
Well, I don't think they win a championship with James Harden. I don't think James Harden's on that starting roster, or I don't think James Harden's on that roster when it comes to the start of the season.
You don't think so?
No, they're going to trade him to somebody. I mean, he wants to be traded to the Bucks, which I'm like, you're not going to. The Bucks have nobody to trade him for. He wants to be traded to the Nets, which. Good luck. Good luck sharing the ball with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
That would be hilarious to watch.
He wants to be treated to the Heat, which I don't think the Heat want to break up what they have right now for getting James Harden.
The Heat, that'd be weird.
I do not see him and Jimmy Butler being cohesive. Because who did the Heat add? They added somebody this offseason, didn't they?
I think they signed Bam for an extension. I know that, I think. Unless I'm making that up. But I think I heard something about that.
You could be making it up. It's all right.
Might be.
These are Brown Mamba Show stats and facts.
Yeah, we're not a credible news source here, okay?
We never claimed to be. Wow, there's a lot.
And even if we claim to be a credible news source, it wouldn't be credible because we're not a credible news source. You see what's going on here?
Yeah, we're more. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Yeah, no. I mean, it doesn't look.
James Harden's a very niche player. I feel like you really have to commit to James Harden to make it work. And then you also have to get lucky.
You have to commit to 30 points and 10 turnovers, or I'm sorry, 30 shots and 10 turnovers a night.
There's
And
time of possession for each team, and then there's time of possession for James Harden. That's how they keep stats for James Harden, because the man just likes to run the shot clock out until he's got 3 seconds left, do a couple quick dribbles in between the legs, step back three, hope he gets fouled. That's James Harden.
If you want to commit around James Harden, you just need to get 3 big-time rebounders and a shooting guard, and one of those big-time rebounders has to be able to hit a 3. That's the only way I can think that you can commit around James Harden, is just getting a bunch of guys who can rebound the shots that he makes, and then an easy kick-out option to either him or 2 other guys that can hit a 3.
So Harden with Anthony Davis would be dangerous, you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Harden with Anthony Davis would be awesome to watch.
But I think we're good with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think that works for now.
Give me 2 proofs that works together. You can only name one.
I can only name one?
Yeah.
What have LeBron and Anthony Davis done together?
They won a championship. That's the only thing that you can prove.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count for anything. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Skip Bayless. That doesn't count for anything. I think they like each other's Instagram posts a lot, and I think that's really important.
They tried to switch jersey numbers that one time.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I mean, let's see. The Suns getting Chris Paul is weird.
That's interesting.
I think they're just trying to do anything they can to keep Devin Booker, but I don't know if Chris Paul is going to be the savior of Devin Booker.
Listen, Chris Paul showed in OKC last year that he's still got something in it. You know, he can't do it himself.
But how long?
I think long enough for DeAndre Ayton to finally, if he can, develop into the player that everyone thinks he can be.
Maybe.
You got Devin Booker. Blanking on anyone else that's on the Phoenix Sun roster. But that's
Jay
a solid
Crowder on there?
Trio. Jay Crowder. Oh my God.
Is Jay Crowder on there? Let's look at the Suns roster here.
Jay Crowder. Was he? Where was he last year?
Somewhere. Was he on the Heat? Am I going crazy with that?
He might be. That might sound right. I feel like I saw him enter the floor in the finals.
Okay, yeah. Jay Crowder went to the Suns. So this is the Suns 2021 roster. We got Tyshawn Alexander, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Michael Bridges, Javon Carter, Jay Crowder, Lanston Galloway, Cameron Johnson, Damian Jones, Etuan Moore, Jonathan Motley, Abdel Nader, Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, Dario Saric, and Jalen Smith.
All right, so you're going to need a couple of those guys to just,
become all-stars.
Find themselves in Phoenix. And it's happened before. You got these obscure bench players, they get with the right coach, they get with the right freaking scheme or whatever, and they find themselves. That's happened, all right?
It's happened before, not in Phoenix, but it's happened.
It has happened, not in Phoenix. I want to make that clear. It hasn't happened in Phoenix. But you know what? I'd like to see the Suns be like a 7 or 8 seed in the playoffs. I think they could be a scary team.
Yeah, and I think these super teams are starting to fade away less and less, or like they're just not as they're not as impactful as what they are. So I could see the Suns sneaking into still a pretty heavy competition West, maybe.
The thing that just detracts from the NBA for me, it's not even the super teams. It's the fact that like players move every freaking 2 years to a different thing. And it's really hard to get invested in this team when it changes every year. You can't really pick like a favorite guy you like this is my dude right here. This is Mr. Los Angeles Lakers. Like, you're not going to get another Kobe. You're not going to get another Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan.
And the moves don't make sense. Like, one, players have way too much control on where they go. And then when they do go, one, it's to a place that doesn't make sense. Like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant both going to the Nets. Like, that just doesn't make sense for either of them to be sharing time with each other. Or it's like the trades don't make sense. It's like you're trading this all-time, not about all-time player, but you're trading a first team, second team all NBA player for like a couple of first round draft picks that are late that are late in the
Right.
round now. It's like,
And if you're lucky, maybe
are they
one of those turns out to be even half the player you just traded away.
right? Yeah, if for example, I can't think of a team right now in the NFL because all the quarterbacks are either really old and good or I'm trying to think of like a comparison, but there's really no comparison. I mean,
You
these
never
trades
see a
just
quarterback get traded. You either see,
right.
yeah, you
All right,
really never
say
see it.
say Andrew Luck is playing with the Colts and them trading. This is good Andrew Luck. It's like them trading Andrew Luck for like a couple of third round picks, basically. Like you're like like
Just to clear cap space. It's like,
the back end of the first round of the NBA is basically the equivalent of like a third round pick in the NFL.
right.
It just makes no sense whatsoever. And you're trading a top 5 quarterback because of it. It's just that's my problem with the NBA is these guys move way too much. They have way too much control on where they move, and then just the moves don't make sense no matter how
Yeah,
it
and I
works.
don't have a problem with because like I know the big thing is like players want control. It shouldn't just be all owners. But then all you hear is these players like, well, I wanted to play with these guys. I want like Kyrie's like, I wanted to play with Kevin Durant. Make a freaking all-star team, dude. Play in the Olympics. You don't see any big time players play in the Olympics no more.
You're
And then
right.
you got the freaking All-Star game where they just don't care. It's like,
Right.
come on, add a little competitive freaking fire to these games instead of making a nice little TikTok.
You're right. I
Have a good time.
You're absolutely right.
It's like there's opportunities to play with these all-time great players. You don't have to freaking like make a pancake freaking cakewalk to the NBA finals for you guys to get to live out your dream.
That is
I
another
don't
thing.
know.
That is another thing that I hate in the NBA is that everybody's friends. I don't like that at all. Like, give me some rivalries. Give me people besides Paul George and Damian Lillard as like rivalries. Just give me something like that, please. I don't want to see
Yeah, it's like
I don't want to see LeBron James patting Steph Curry on the butt like every time one of them like gets off the floor. Like,
yeah, like the first round with the Lakers and Blazers, there was this big thing of like, oh, here comes LeBron and Carmelo Anthony, and they were like freaking playing patty cake at half court anytime there was a timeout.
who?
It's
Yeah, anybody who says, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a competition," like these two are gonna go at each other. It's like, no, they've been best friends since 2003.
and I'm gonna say something. I think Kobe Bryant's final season in the NBA set a precedent for this kind of stuff, or it really like shot it into regularity because Kobe was always that guy. Like, sure, we can be friends off the court or like during the offseason, I don't care, but during the game, kick rocks, don't talk to me, or you're gonna pay for it. But
Right,
that last season with Kobe, it was like Kobe knows Lakers are trash. This is my final year. I'm just gonna have fun, embrace the fans, embrace the players that like grew up watching me and idolized me. And it was this all cushy, like, oh, give me a hug, you hit that three. That's where it started for me. That's when I started to notice it.
so what you're saying is it's all Kobe's fault, huh?
It's what the media's been saying his whole career. It turns out it is everything's Kobe's fault. I'm sorry.
No, give me some rivalries like baseball. When there's a brawl the first game of the series, like when two teams are facing, it's like the A's and the Blue Jays. Like these two teams aren't rivals at all. However, if there's a brawl in the first game of the series, you're like, all right, let's pay
It's
attention.
gonna get spicy.
Yeah, let's pay
Yeah.
attention to this. I want to see that. NFL, I mean, Bears
How many
pack.
wide receiver cornerback matchups alone where you're like, dude, this could get interesting.
Right, Bears, Packers, Browns, Steelers, Saints, Tampa Bay. It's like
Mm-hmm.
these are games you want to watch. It's like, no, I don't really want to watch any NBA games unless it's the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just really like, oh, let me pay respect to my favorite players that I grew up. It's like, you want to pay respect to that player? Freaking show them up. Like, show them what you learned from them. Like, freaking take them down. Like,
Right,
I
drop
don't
30
get
on
it.
them and then
Yeah.
afterwards say, "Hey, I learned a lot from you."
I'm you now. Like,
Right.
you're old news.
Right. Who do
They're
you
just
think
not.
you are? I am. That's an
Like, there's
all-time
got to be a
celebration.
balance. There's got to be a balance between Michael Jordan and LeBron, where it's like friendship. I'm putting a hit on you. There's
Mhm.
got to be some kind of middle ground in between those two things.
Yeah, I think you know, I know we've brought The Last Dance multiple times on this show, but
Mhm.
one, that documentary is incredible. Two, like Jordan showed exactly how that plays out. Is, I could be friendly with you off the court, but on
Mhm.
the court, you're dead to me. I mean, even that little interaction that we saw between him and Bird,
Yeah.
Off screen, it's just like it's obvious these guys are friendly, but Jordan's competitive no matter what. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't
even like Jordan and Barkley were friends outside the court for a little bit before they started hating each other.
right.
But once they played each other in the finals, Jordan's gonna be like, "This fat piece of trash is awful. Like he's not gonna beat me."
Did they ever discuss why Jordan and Barkley don't like each other?
I feel like they just walk around it. Like Barkley doesn't talk about it, Jordan doesn't talk about it. They just say they kind of like drifted away. It's like
I'm willing to
I'm not
bet.
buying that.
I'm willing to bet the reason why Jordan and Barkley don't like each other is because one night they were gambling with each other, and Barkley took all of Jordan's money that night. I'm willing to bet that is the reason.
Honestly, I could see that.
I'm willing to bet.
Just one game of golf that went too far, and now
Well,
they
not
hate each
golf.
other.
You've seen Barkley golf.
Yeah, Barkley's not gonna beat Jordan in golf.
But those,
You know how they do those like those matches in golf of like Phil Mickelson versus Tiger with partners?
right?
Get Jordan in there versus Barkley because we saw Barkley do it.
Dude, that would
I
be.
would
Oh my
watch
god,
that.
I'd watch that
I'd
in a
watch the heck out of
second.
that.
Who did?
I
Who
want to
was?
watch freaking Jordan uncensored talk trash. I
Who,
would absolutely want that.
who was that they just did it with? It was Barkley and who else?
It was Barkley, Peyton Manning, Steph Curry, Phil Mickelson. It was a weird one.
That is
But like
weird.
the second one was Tiger, Phil, Manning, Brady.
Manning,
That's
Brady,
good.
right.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And then the first one was just Phil and Tiger. Yeah.
Man, I'd watch that in a second. Jordan and
That'd be
Barkley.
good
Oh, that's
stuff.
a great idea, Matt. We need to go ahead and contact the people at what was that cast on? Like what, Turner Sports?
So it was on TNT. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta make it. I'll talk to
Let's get
I'll talk to
Ernie.
Ernie Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get EJ in there. I'm pretty sure he's the owner of Turner Sports, and
Is he? Yeah, I think
they put him in everything.
I would fact check that, but it just sounds too good that I don't even have to.
Man, I'd watch that in a second. That's a great idea.
And like put it on HBO so we can hear the uncensored trash talk. I don't want to hear this TNT. He said the S word. We got to bleep that.
Better idea. Even better.
I want to
Matt.
hear personal attacks.
You know what? If I'm YouTube TV, I'm getting that game and I'm streaming it.
Instead of just putting a billboard in the background of every World Series NBA Finals.
Right.
Let's bring some stuff to the table here.
Right. Oh, this is great, Matt. I like this. All right. What is there was there anything really special in the NBA? I'm looking. I mean, the Lakers got decent.
Yeah.
Dennis
Harrell was nice.
Schroeder was
Schroeder. Yeah, I like Schroeder. Yeah.
Getting him was a nice little get. I'm happy with the Celtics. It kind of sucks seeing Cantor go. I liked him, but it's just they could have done better. And
where did he go?
He went back to Portland.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. But Celtics got Tristan Thompson, and I think Tristan Thompson's like one of the exact like that's a Boston Celtic like perfect filler for him. Like for whatever Danny does, I don't care. But that was a perfect get for Danny. Finally, was a guy that
Tough
can
rebounder,
actually rebound,
yeah.
play somewhat defense.
Mm-hmm.
But the Sixers are good this year. Sixers.
Am I gonna buy into the Sixers?
Listen, I'm the first person banging the table every single year saying the Sixers are a fraud. Sixers are going to be good this year.
And the Celtics are going to get knocked out in the second round again.
All right. Hey, you know what? Your little comments.
I really thought last year was their year, man.
Your little comments don't bother me, Matt.
They don't?
No.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Well, they make me happy, so.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But I mean, them re-signing KCP and getting Montrezl Harrell, like that's two solid gets for the Lakers.
I'm not buying this whole controversy of like LeBron giving point guard duties up to Dennis Schroeder. I'm not buying that junk of like being a problem. Like I'm sure they're gonna find like certain plays where LeBron takes it up court, certain plays where Schroeder's running the point. I don't think it's that big a deal.
Oh, Marc Gasol, that was the other one. That's Lakers are good this year.
There's reports that Pau Gasol wants to play one more year, come back with the Lakers. That'd be dope. I want that to happen. Listen, he can play the Juwan Howard role, wear his suit and tie every game, not play a single minute until they've already clinched the playoffs. They put him in for 15 minutes, put up 8 points, get a standing ovation, call it a career, Pau. That's what I want to see. All right?
Okay, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. Well,
Yeah, he'll sign league minimum to play back with the Lakers with his brother. Come on, wouldn't possibly get another free championship out of it?
that would be pretty cool. All that was cool besides you saying the Lakers winning the championship. Like all that's pretty cool.
Up until that, okay,
Yeah, you kind of lost me there, but
it's fine. It's fine.
the Bucks getting Drew Holiday, that's a great get for them. Giannis finally has help, and we don't have to watch George Hill try his best.
Yeah, the whole Eric Bledsoe thing really didn't work with the Bucks, did it?
Or Eric Bledsoe, yeah. No,
I thought that was gonna be solid, but it just never really turned out.
I was never a Eric Bledsoe guy in the first place, so I'm surprised that people are like, "Oh yeah, Eric Bledsoe, that's perfect combo for Giannis."
Yeah, when he was coming up, a lot of people were thinking like he could be the number 1 guy, and I'm like, no, okay, no. I thought he could be a solid number 2 guy. I guess that's not true either. I don't know.
No, I
don't know anything.
I'm just holding out hope every year that if the Celtics don't win it, I want to see the Blazers win it. I just want to see Lillard and McCollum win a ring there. That'd probably be my number 1, or well, that's my number 2 option. After that, I don't care as long as the Lakers or Sixers don't win.
And then the Melo would get a ring too.
Melo would get a ring too. Yeah,
that'd be kind of fun.
I'd like to see that. And so lastly, the biggest deal of them all, the Cavaliers got JaVale McGee.
Holy championship, Batman!
Honestly, JaVale McGee coming off the bench for Andre Drummond, I like that. That's not bad.
Yeah, dude, JaVale was solid with the Golden State. He did his part with Los Angeles, which the Lakers really didn't use him much, especially towards the end of the season into the playoffs. But during regular season, JaVale does his stuff. So it's solid.
I like it.
He's got his little dumb moments that everyone likes to talk about, but the dude's still a really productive player.
Yeah, I like what the Cavs are doing. I never liked the Darius Garland draft. I still don't. But besides that, I like what the Cavs are doing. They just got to develop Sexton, get his IQ up a little bit, and they might have something.
Kevin Porter Jr. get him out of trouble. He got in trouble for something.
Was
it a DUI or something? I don't know.
Armed assault or something? What was?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was not good. Kevin.
Come on, Kevin.
Porter
Kevin.
Jr. Kevin.
What are you doing, kid?
What was that? I gotta actually.
I just started
things. Can we like?
Just tell me what he did.
Whatever happened to sensational headlines anymore? All right, yeah, let's see. What felony gun arrest?
Oh, well, I did that like twice this week. So what's the big deal?
He wrecked his Mercedes-Benz around 2 a.m. When they found a loaded handgun and what appeared to be weed inside the vehicle.
Oh, you said weed? Oh, I thought you said like a Wii. Like this dude's playing Wii Sports on the go.
Yes, yeah. He's got Wii Resort in there just.
Oh, dude, Wii Sports Resort. Good choice, Kevin Porter.
Yeah, that's a. He's young. He is young. He should know better.
Yeah,
but he's 21.
Give him a chance to learn. I'm not gonna say nothing until we'll see what happens.
I really like Kevin Porter Jr. Like I hope he can stay out of trouble. He's a baller, but he's young. Just make him live at Kevin Love's house for a year, and then he'll be fine.
Oh, Kevin and Kevin, start a little sitcom around it too.
Hey, Turner Broadcast, let's go. We got two for you.
I am giving TNT so many ideas.
And hosted by, of course, Ernie Johnson.
Yeah, he should host everything.
Right.
He's the new Steve Harvey.
They should actually have Ernie Johnson living with them.
Oh, yeah, that would work too. Would he just be like a third roommate, or would he be like a butler?
It'd kind of be like a Big Brother kind of thing, where Ernie Johnson is the interviewer, and they have these diary room kind of sessions with Kevin, and they talk about how they're getting along with each other and everything.
I like that.
Yeah, there we go.
K Love didn't fully put the toothpaste cap back on the way, and I squirted it, and some came out, and I got on my shirt.
I'd watch it.
I would. Heck yeah, that's some good stuff.
All right, Mr. Mamba. Let's move into the NFL. We're going up to Week 14.
That stands for National Football League.
What are we looking like here? What is catching your eye in this National Football League? So Let's just start.
Packers are going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that really quick. Packers are going to the Super Bowl.
I said it at the beginning of the year, and you're like, whoa, let's slow it down a little bit. I just don't see a team that beats the Packers in the playoffs.
I was going through the NFC. We could Rams, tough team. I think we could, but they're all beatable.
Rams
There's
are
teams where
overrated.
I'm like, listen, but they play right into the Packers' weaknesses here. You know, if they make Jared Goff do as little as possible, that's gonna be trouble for the Packers.
That's true.
Like the same. It's like Rams, Seahawks, Saints. Who else is on top? Freaking.
The 5-7 Giants.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm not even worried about that. But all those teams, it's like they're very. I could see us losing, but if I feel like if the Packers play their best football, they can beat everyone,
So
except for maybe the Chiefs.
I don't I don't see the Seahawks beating the Packers just because of how bad that Seahawks defense is. Even though
Plus, Russell Wilson's been a little turnover happy.
which I think that's done for now. He just had a couple game stretch where he was bad. But
I'll take it.
That Packers offense is just too high powered for that Seahawks defense. And listen, as inconsistent as the Packers defense is, they can hang with that Seahawks offense. Jair Alexander and DK Metcalf that's a fun matchup.
Oh mama.
But
that'd be spicy.
The Rams are overrated. They are probably the biggest pretenders out of the entire league, I would say. I just don't trust a team with Jared Goff as their quarterback.
Got a really good defense.
I feel like the Saints and the Packers match up pretty well. Saints defense is really solid.
I mean, we already beat them once with Drew Brees.
I guess it kind of just plays out to see, one, if they stick with Taysom Hill, and two, how good Taysom Hill does.
I'm really looking forward to I hope Taysom Hill plays against the Chiefs. Who are they playing this week? Do they play the freaking Eagles? I think they play the Eagles this week, and then they have the Chiefs next week.
Yes, they do. Yes. So yeah,
come on. Taysom Hill's had a soft pancake schedule, man. I want to see him play a good team.
That is Taysom, the next Steve Young to you. Hill.
That is the next Tim Tebow to you. And I'm sick of people hyping him up.
Taysom Hill's not that bad. Let's calm down there a little bit.
Dude, everyone was like losing their mind after his second touchdown pass. They're like, okay, that one was difficult. On what planet? Okay, the first one, wide open. Like, no one's going to say, like, oh, Taysom Hill threaded the needle there. Yep. And then the second one, there was like a defender within like 2 feet, and they're like, oh, that was a tough throw. What? If Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson made that throw, it'd be like, okay, yeah, we saw that coming. But right. Taysom Hill does it, and it's like, holy cow, this guy's showing his true potential finally. No, I refuse to buy into it.
I've been very critical of Taysom Hill. Do I think he could be a good quarterback in the NFL? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Am I going to close the book on him being a horrible quarterback? No. But I'm still leaning towards him becoming more of a horrible quarterback than a good quarterback.
Taysom Hill, I dare you to leave Sean Payton. I dare you.
All right.
I dare you.
Who would you rather the Saints put in as quarterback? Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill?
On what team?
Against
what
team? Against the Packers.
Against the Packers? Jameis.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Jameis Winston's
the only reason Taysom Hill? The only reason Taysom Hill is the starter right now is they had a pancake freaking schedule. Taysom Hill knows the playbook better than Jameis Winston. He knows this offense better than Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston has had the tendency in the past to lose very winnable games because of his turnovers. Taysom Hill is not.
Name 20 games where Jameis Winston could have won if he didn't throw an interception.
Let's see. He plays the Saints. He played the Saints twice against with the Buccaneers. He played the Falcons twice against the Buccaneers. Any divisional game.
You'd rather have Jameis Winston as that quarterback instead of Jameis Winston, who's
against Green Bay,
who's a very talented quarterback. I don't think there's any question that Jameis Winston's a very talented quarterback.
Right.
Whereas Taysom Hill's a talented player. I don't think that's up for discussion. That Taysom Hill's talented. Like that's
Taysom Hill just like adds like here's the running game for the Saints, and then Taysom Hill's here, and it's like, oh, okay, now it's a little bigger. But then you have Jameis Winston. It's like, okay, you still got that big running game, but now you're adding a whole nother dimension of like, okay, now we have to like worry about the pass.
Right.
Like Taysom Hill, how many throws does he actually throw downfield, not like a little, oh hey, I see you, Latavius Murray, there you go, kid.
Mhm.
Like actual throws downfield. Because it's the same thing with Breeze, except Breeze can't run, but Breeze is actually a good quarterback and a very smart quarterback. I'm making a lot of points here. Listen, Taysom Hill's bad. Period.
I think that's the takeaway.
Thank you.
I don't know if we're gonna look like a have an egg on your face. Once the season's done, if Taysom Hill beats the
No, I
Packers,
won't.
how much is it gonna kill you on the inside if Taysom Hill beats the Packers in the playoffs?
If Taysom Hill beats the Packers, give me something stupid to do because it won't happen.
I'm gonna cut
Just
your.
give me a
let me cut your hair.
yeah. If Taysom Hill beats the Packers, what in the playoffs or
Yeah,
like
in the playoffs.
yeah, then Casey will come over and just give me a haircut.
All right. That I'm down
He
for
can,
this.
he'll freaking shave a swastika into the back of my head. Do whatever you want to freaking
I
do. It's
wasn't
not
gonna
happening.
do that, but if you insist.
I don't care, dude. It's not happening.
All right. So, besides the Saints Packers,
Frick, now I'm scared.
uh,
Dang it.
what,
Anyway, we're good.
what do the Buccaneers look like for the rest of the season, Matt? What are you thinking? So they face the Vikings,
Minnesota this week, yeah.
Vikings, Falcons, Lions, and Falcons again. So a pretty cupcake schedule at the end, which Tom Brady's going to throw for like 230 yards on like 75
60 attempts.
Right, on 75 passes and 2 touchdowns, and be like, "Oh, Brady's back."
I don't know, dude. I mean, he's got the Falcons twice. Those are both winnable, but I guarantee you he'll probably lose one to the Falcons. I think he takes down the Vikings. I hope, because then the Packers will clinch the division, and then the Lions are pretty winnable.
Yeah, but the Packers got a 3-game lead on the division. I wouldn't be worried about that.
I'm not worried about the division. It's just a matter of time.
Sure.
I just want to get it out of the way. But with the Buccaneers, I think they go 3-1 to end they make the playoffs, but I don't really see them making a run.
No. I mean, that defense was pretty solid for the first 10 games or so, but it started to there's some cracks in it. There's some cracks
The run defense is really good, but the passing defense has some holes.
Yeah, there's some cracks in the Buccaneers offense. It's called Tom Brady. And then
Oh boy.
How
How about freaking commit to Ronald Jones and get Leonard Fournette out of here?
What are they doing there? I understand having a 2-headed monster in your backfield as a Browns fan. I truly understand that. But I mean, that is not a 2-headed monster. That is Ronald Jones and then a broken Leonard Fournette. What are they doing there?
Like, Leonard Fournette is a washed-up Ronald Jones at best.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, Ronald Jones, I'll give it to him. He's got a fumble problem and he's got a drop problem in the passing game. But Leonard Fournette is not a better in the passing game than Ronald Jones. He's got stone hands himself. So I'd say just commit to Ronald Jones and just let Leonard Fournette be change of pace, or like maybe Ronald Jones needs a breather.
We'll make a call back to Lucy Chalbert from Mean Girls. Leonard Fournette is fetch. Stop trying to make Leonard Fournette happen.
It's not going to
happen.
Yeah, I just hate how Bruce Arians like, oh, Ronald Jones fumbled once. All right, let me shatter your confidence. Not play you for the rest of this game. We're going to go with Leonard Fournette with his 12 carries for 36 yards, and that's what we're going to do. I get it.
All right, so the Rams have the Jets, Seahawks, and Cardinals left, and then the Seahawks they're within Rams are 1 game ahead, and the Seahawks have the Jets, Washington, Rams, and 49ers left. That's a tough schedule for that's a tougher schedule for the Seahawks than it is the Rams. The 49ers defense is still decent, even though that offense is abhorrent. And that Washington team is low-key scary.
Yeah, it's got a great defense. And, oh, God, Alex Smith. We'll get into him later.
But, I mean, the Cardinals is still a tough matchup for the Rams. I don't know who.
Cardinals have been looking pretty shaky lately, though.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't see the Cardinals making the playoffs.
I don't either.
I don't know.
And
I haven't looked too closely at the freaking NFC how it's playing out.
I don't think that was the plan, anyways. Like the Cardinals still aren't ready to compete. I think next year they will be. They get one more good draft in them, kind of shore up that defense and that offensive line.
Yeah.
They'll be ready to compete. It's going to be hard to compete with the Seahawks and the Rams as well, and the Niners will be getting a lot of their pieces back. That's going to be an awesome division to watch. But
that's tough one. I would hate to be a fan for one of those teams and just be like, oh my god.
There's the morons
Gotta,
in the NFC East. So honestly, the NFC East next year is going to probably look the exact same. I don't see any of these teams besides Washington getting much better.
Jerry Jones is going to take another receiver instead of defense. Does Dak come back?
No.
Like, I'm not talking like physically. Like, let's just assume Dak is like
No.
good enough.
No. I
But
think
like, you don't think he's a Cowboy next year?
I think Jerry Jones burnt that bridge, and I think Dak Prescott will be the starting quarterback of. Let's look here.
Here we go. This is
The
going to be something.
Bears.
Oh, the Bears. Oh, I would hate that. I hate that makes sense.
The Eagles. Oh no, they got
No.
Jalen Hurts. They got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
The Giants.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Did they give up on Daniel Jones yet?
Would Dak go to the Giants? That'd be hilarious.
The Patriots?
That'd be scary.
The Broncos? That would be a good fit. I'd like to see Dak on the Broncos.
Broncos would work. There's a lot of spots, man. Yeah, I think Dak's gonna go elsewhere.
The Colts? Yeah. There's a lot.
I mean, some team's gonna be desperate enough for a quarterback and give him max money. If Dallas won't do it.
Let's look here. The Giants. I think the Giants would be a better spot to be in for Dak than the Cowboys. I think the Bears would be a better spot for Dak to play than the Cowboys. I think
every team you listed is a better spot.
The Patriots would be a better spot. The Broncos,
except for maybe the Eagles.
Right.
Except for maybe the Eagles. I'd rather have
the Eagles
Dallas.
Are going to stick with Jalen Hurts.
That's not even a thing.
The Broncos would be a better spot. The Colts would be a better spot.
All those teams have better defenses and still a good enough amount of weapons.
Mm-hmm. I don't see why he would go back to the Cowboys, especially if Mike McCarthy's still there.
Oh boy.
You think he's still there?
Yeah, I think next year he'll still be the coach, but he's going to be he might be a mid-season fire next year if things go bad.
He might be fired after 4 games if they go 0-4 to start.
Yeah, I could probably see that happening. I don't know. I'll give him another off season just because I want him to succeed, but I don't know.
All right, so to end things, the Giants have the Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, and Cowboys. Pretty tough matchup. And then Washington has the Niners, Seahawks, Panthers, and Eagles. I see 2, maybe 3 wins for Washington there, and then
1 or 2 for the Giants.
2. I think Washington.
Maybe they can get another upset. They snuck a Seahawks victory out. Maybe they can get another one.
Yeah, maybe.
Defense is like kind of sneaky.
It is sneaky, and if they get an actual quarterback, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley next year.
Colt McCoy, most improved player.
Stop it! Stop it! Now that Giants team's gonna be a little sneaky. They need to get a quarterback though. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback, and I don't know what we're doing at this point.
Yeah, I think you just got to pull the plug on it. I don't know. He's shown flashes, but it doesn't seem like he has enough consistency in him to be an NFL quarterback that has a lot of success.
All right, so do you think the Dolphins catch up to the Bills? They're 1 game ahead. The Bills got the Steelers, Broncos, Patriots, and Dolphins. And then the Dolphins have the Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, and Bills. That's a
couple winnable games. Yeah, I Bills got a better team.
Yeah,
Dolphins are still trying to put some. I mean, they've exceeded expectations this year. I think.
Yeah, I think you and
I thought the Dolphins would have a solid team because we talked about them having a pretty good offseason.
Yeah, they were an underdog team going into it.
Even with the Patriots not being a factor, I still didn't really see them winning the division. Or at least I think I didn't. I think I still had the Bills winning the division.
Yeah.
I had them more around where the Patriots were, which they still kind of are, but they're still probably a little step ahead of the Patriots.
And I think that was kind of their plan, and it seems like that's still their plan is to kind of hang around that middle spot, still get a good draft pick.
Right.
But they're doing their best to compete and not compete at the same time.
It's quite the tug of war match they're having with themselves.
Their offense looks great. I think they're gonna try and get another wide receiver and pair him with Devontae Parker next season, and that'd be a good pairing, especially with if Myles Gaskin comes back and he plays well, because they already have Mike Gesicki, who is an incredibly underrated tight end in the league, and they have Devontae Parker.
Take me off from fantasy.
Why were you facing him or?
No, I started him 1 week and he had like 1 catch for 8 yards, and I'm like, thanks for stopping, kid.
He's had an up or down fantasy this year, but no, their defense is decent. You know, that's something that you can shore up with a couple like second, third round draft picks, maybe a free agency signing, and you get that other wide receiver, and Dolphins are gonna be good next year. And I
want to see the Dolphins be good again. All right, we haven't really seen it much in our lifetimes.
Yeah, especially with Tua, I'd like to see Tua succeed. I don't know if Josh Allen can continue his success that kind of blows me away that he's had this year.
I didn't know he could do what he's doing right now. So who's to say I'm not even more stupid?
I think at the beginning of the season, you and I agreed that Josh Allen could be a good NFL quarterback in his career. We didn't know if that was going to happen this year or not. We're pretty sure that wasn't going to happen. We both agreed that he was still pretty not good, but he was hovering around average. He's played lights out. He's really exceeded our expectations. I mean,
yeah, he keeps developing. He keeps improving. He's trying to be a smarter quarterback, especially after that embarrassing playoff performance. You know, he's moving in the right direction. So you know what? I'm rooting for you, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I guess beat the Steelers this week, and I'll be very
happy.
I
want to see the Bills be good. All right, that'd be a fun time to see the Bills be good.
Yeah, I would welcome it. I would say, hey, Josh Allen, Bills, beat the Steelers. Thank you. That's
inspiring.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
I should do speeches at the beginning of the year.
You might mess around and win a couple Nobel Prizes with that.
But no, I mean, I still think the Bills are pretenders, I think.
The Bills?
Yeah, I guess it just depends how they play against the Steelers. If they beat the Steelers convincingly,
that'll be interesting.
They're going to be my number 2
That'll be an interesting game to watch, yeah.
They're going to be my number 2 team behind the Chiefs going into the playoffs. If they don't beat the Steelers or they beat them very shakily, I'm going to still say the Bills are pretenders. I don't know.
I believe in them.
There's something about this team that I just don't like, and I don't know what it is. Well, the Chiefs are going to blow the AFC West out of the water, and they're going to probably win the Super Bowl this year. So I don't even want to talk about them. As long as the Browns don't face them in the playoffs, the Browns.
Could you imagine Browns back in the playoffs first round? They got the freaking Chiefs.
Honestly, I'd welcome it.
We're gonna have to buy, so we don't have to worry about them yet.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the Steelers are finally going to be getting a couple losses here, I hope.
If the Browns do make the playoffs, depending on how the Steelers and Bills play out, the Browns will either face the Steelers or the Bills probably to start the... They'd probably face the Bills with the way the wild card is going.
That'd be an interesting game.
Steelers or Browns and Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Josh Allen is playing good, he would pick that defense apart. And that Bills defense is good. I don't know. I'd probably favor the Bills just with how bad the Browns are on defense.
But don't sleep on that Browns offense, dude. It's
I'm
still
not
like
sleeping on it.
Explosive defense or offenses in the league.
I'm not sleeping on it, but at the same time, I am heavily awake on the Browns defense.
Heavily awake. Yeah, the Browns and Packers are really similar in that way of like great offenses, but that defense is just oof.
At least the Packers have a semblance of a defense, though.
Yeah, we put some I mean, the Browns looked decent in the first half against the Titans.
Yeah.
Until they almost blew a 31-point lead. Holy frick!
Honestly, they didn't look that good against the Titans in the first half. Like they held Derrick Henry behind the line of scrimmage a couple of times.
They made the big plays necessary, which is what the Packers have been doing this year. It's like for 80% of the plays they look shaky, but they're able to make those 1 or 2 big plays to edge out the competition.
Yeah, I don't know. The Browns defense has been very lucky this year. That has been they have a lot of tipped turnovers that they've been getting, a lot of fumbles that probably shouldn't have happened that have happened. The Browns defense is very lucky this year, and they benefit off of that, which is fine. I'd rather be lucky than good, but
Yeah.
the Browns aren't good, and I think their luck is about to end here. I mean, Tannehill and Corey Davis and A.J. Brown could have just ran all over them, and I don't understand why the Titans weren't throwing to them more. They just decided, hey, let's keep running Derrick Henry, even though the Browns had a great game plan against Derrick Henry. They're like, let's
Yeah,
keep.
they just went all in on if we stop Derrick Henry, let's just pray.
Yep.
That's enough.
Yep. Both Derrick Henry and Derrick Henley, were
Oh,
both.
I knew I said it wrong, and I'm like, okay, he didn't catch it. We're good, but okay, it's fine.
But no,
Derrick Henry.
they, they had a great game plan for that, but A.J. Brown and Corey Davis and Ryan
Scary.
Tannehill were just throwing all over them. And there's more than once where they went down the field in less than 3 minutes for like 75 yards and just blew the Browns out of the water.
It's not a good look.
No, I mean, luckily the Browns are facing the Ravens this week, and they have Lamar Jackson throwing the ball, so it won't be as bad. But once they get Denzel Ward back,
I really just want to freaking. When's the last time we saw the Browns just? When's the last time the Browns beat the Ravens? First of all,
last year they had that
Did we beat them
that
last year?
40-24 win with like that Nick Chubb huge run at like the end of the game, and like there was Baker in the
I don't remember
backfield stretching his arms like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But that Ravens defense is tough.
it is tough, but like you just said, don't sleep on that Browns offense.
Absolutely.
Never say
And
that
it's
again.
prime time. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen a Browns primetime game. Like
Last year
they had one early in the. They haven't had any this year to start.
they had. Oh
Have
yeah,
we
they had
had,
the Bengals. They had the Bengals game last year
Yeah, it
or
wasn't
this year.
Thursday. Yeah, it was like a Thursday nighter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what the frick? Like we got a few now because now we have the Giants on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Giants and
Yeah, okay,
Ravens.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, dang, the Browns are always playing at 1:00 or 4:00 here.
No, I mean they've had what 1 or 2 4 o'clock games this year. They had one or two last year. They had 2 primetime games, one against the Rams and one against the
Jets.
Steelers. The Steelers.
Didn't we have a Jets Monday night game?
They had a Jets Monday night game, and they had a San Francisco Monday night game. So the Browns are finally getting media coverage. You love to
Heck
see it,
yeah!
and they're finally good, which is incredible,
Heck,
dude. Honestly,
God.
like
Thank goodness.
I didn't think I'd ever see this. Like I expected to see like a 9-win season and a playoffs, but I didn't expect to see 9-3, which is absurd.
I didn't expect this either. I think I had them going 10-6 this year, and I thought I was being generous.
I think I had something along those lines too, and I thought a lot of people are saying, hey, if we get to 8-8 this year, that is a good sign. I was like, that'd be a little disappointing to me, but 8-8 would be fine, dude. I mean, 9-3
coming together.
It is incredible to look at, but I don't know. I
just want to see a Browns playoff game, man. I can't. I was so little, I can't even remember the Browns Steelers playoff game in 2002.
So I do think that it's good that if the Browns do make the playoffs, that they're not going to be a first seed or anything. That they're not going to have home field advantage, because a Browns playoff deserves to have 70,000 people there at a home game. That's going to be a wild environment once that finally happens, if that ever happens. But so if they get an away game on the road on the playoffs, I'm okay with it. I'm okay if they don't win this North, but I'd like to see it.
Such a loser mentality. Sad.
Oh, dude, you can't tell me you want the first playoff game back in Cleveland to have 12,000 people there.
That would be insane. I can definitely understand that, but shoot, you still want a division title, though, right?
That's true.
Like, come on.
That's true, but also, if they don't win a division title, I'm fine with, because this team can't win the Super Bowl. So
you never. Okay, yeah, I probably agree with that. I'm trying to think. Unless they have like a super magical run, just get a lot of big breaks. I don't know.
Unless Baker plays like he plays for the rest of the year and the rest of the playoffs, I just don't see them winning the Super Bowl with how bad that defense is.
Listen, you punch your ticket to the playoffs and you go. There's always a chance.
All right, Chris Antonetti, stop it. God, that makes me so mad, because I was rewatching Moneyball like the other day. Great movie, really bad when it comes to like a sports movie, but good movie overall. And
It's a
it's
good
like,
movie.
and they
It's,
talk about
it's my
how
favorite sports movie of all time. All right.
really,
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's my favorite sports movie of all time, but it's pretty good. But when Billy Bean talks about how when you get into the playoffs, it's up to the luck, and same with Chris Anthony. That makes me so mad that zero
Why?
isn't, because they only make their rosters to be able to compete into the playoffs. They don't actually have a good roster. It's easy to
Mhm.
win 85, 90 games in baseball as long as you have some good players. But if you don't have
Okay.
some great players surrounded by a good depth of team, then you're going to do nothing in the playoffs. See the Indians these last 3 years in the playoffs, or they
Okay.
didn't even make the playoffs last year. And then see the Oakland A's every time they've went into the playoffs with Billy Bean as their GM, most overrated GM of all time. Get out of here.
But a great movie.
Great
Great
movie though,
movie.
really funny, really good, really like it.
Hmm.
Horrible when you
Hey.
actually look at the history of it and like, oh yeah, Scott Hattenberg and what was the guy that threw sidearm or a
I can't think
submarine,
of his name.
Chad
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something or something like that. You're like, oh yeah, those guys carried the A's to the playoffs. When you forget to mention that the A's had one of the best rotations of all time and the AL MVP Miguel Tejada and all of that.
Oops.
But
Yeah, I remember. I was looking at I'm like, oh, no mention of Miguel Tejada.
yeah, no,
I just
no mention of
forgot that he was a part of that team.
no mention of Zito or Hudson or
Yeah.
it's like they seem to purposely take that out.
Now we got to focus on David Justice.
Right, David Justice, Giambi's little
Jeremy
brother. Right.
Giambi.
Oh,
Oh man.
there's one scene where it's like where they're first starting to talk about the players, and the first guy they talk about is Jeremy Giambi, and they're like, "That's a guy we should get." It's like they failed to mention that Jeremy Giambi was on that team for 2 years already before that season started. Like they just failed to mention that.
Oopie. Oops.
Right. All right, but back to football. Draft Day is the best sports movie of all time, by the way.
Oh my god. I haven't seen it. So I can't even say that. All I've heard is mediocre things, unless you're a Browns fan. That's all I've heard.
Unrealistic, but just, unrealistic
I
because
gotta
the Browns
watch
are
it one
good.
I gotta watch it one day.
It's just go into it as a Browns fan. Don't go into it as a sports fan.
Oh boy.
Because if you're going as a sports fan, you're like, this movie's crap. This is the dumbest movie ever. All right, Titans and Colts. I see both of those teams are pretenders to me.
What do you mean by pretenders? Do you just mean like they can't once it comes playoff time, they're gonna get exposed?
Yes.
Because like I think they're solid teams. I think Titans
Colts,
more so than the Colts.
Colts and Titans both awesome defenses. Colts better when it comes to defense. I just don't trust Phillip Rivers anymore to throw the ball, even though T.Y. Hilton has suddenly come alive. It's taken him 12 weeks, but he's finally come alive.
Yeah.
And
I think Phillip Rivers is just going to fall apart, and that's going to be the demise of this team.
I like Tannehill. I like that receiving core. I like Derrick Henry. They're a solid team. They're probably more of a competitor than the Colts.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I can see the Titans winning a couple playoff games. I really can't see the Colts making a run this year. I really can't see it. Even though they beat my Packers, and I'm still ticked about that game, I still can't see the Colts making a run.
I can't either. So, I mean, yeah, I can see the Titans making a run. Can you see the Browns making a run in the playoffs?
I can see them winning a game. I really want to see them like make a serious run, but I like if I was a Browns fan, if you get a playoff win, that's big.
I can
like
see
even
them.
making the playoffs this year is really good. But if you get a playoff win here, just take that. Just take that as like, okay, this is good.
I can
build off of that.
Yeah, I can see them beating the Bills. I can see them beating the Steelers. I cannot see this team beating the Chiefs at all.
No, no.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I can see Mahomes legitimately throwing for 600 yards against this defense.
700's not out of the possibility either.
Might as well just bring it up to 8.
And you know what? You know what sucks is the Chiefs look so unbeatable But a lot of those teams, once it comes playoff time, they just like
They do fall
get a
apart.
little too cocky. They get
Yeah.
a little too cocky, and that could be their demise.
I could
I
see the
hope that's what happens,
I could see the
but
Chiefs
you never know.
defense falling apart. I feel like the Chiefs defense has definitely overachieved this year.
Yeah,
I think they're
definitely
still a
better than I thought
solid.
they'd be.
They're still a solid defense, but I think they've overachieved. I just don't see that Chiefs
Mhm.
offense falling apart, and that offense is better than any defense in the league.
Yeah, that's what's scary. I just hope they get a little too big of a head. That's all I'm hoping for here.
All right. But of course, the biggest pretenders of them all are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um,
Oh boy,
I don't listen. I know part of me has the bias against the Steelers, but I just look at that team, and
it shouldn't have been 11-0
I
in
don't
the
see
first
I don't see a
place.
Super Bowl contender in that team. Do I see a playoff win in that team? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see a Super Bowl contender? No. I mean,
I do.
I think the receiving core is overrated. Juju Smith-Schuster is not a great wide receiver.
So many drops. Listen, they make the big plays from time to time, but there's so many drops.
Yeah, and that's something you just can't have in playoffs. You need consistency in playoffs, which is why the Browns are going to win all the playoffs because their defense is consistently bad. You see
That's what you need.
You see the five-headed play right there?
That dude, you're playing 4D chess on my head right now.
But no, I mean, Chase Claypool is a fine wide receiver. He's going to probably develop into a stud, but right now he's big. He's boomer bust when it comes to plays.
Mm-hmm.
They have no running game whatsoever. People continue to talk about James Conner as if he's a top 15 running back in the league, let alone top 10.
Not top 10, that's for sure.
He is not good. I mean,
just a nice like. You can see the anger in your eyes. You're like, he's not good. He's not good, guys.
he had 8 good
Stop
games. He had 8 good games when Le'Veon Bell first left, and everybody was just like, "Oh, well, they're not gonna miss him." And it's like, please,
Oh no,
stop this. And then that defense just took another big hit. I forget who tore their ACL, but
what's his name?
Was it Bud Dupree? Did Bud Dupree just tear his ACL, or did he tear his ACL early in the year, and then this guy?
Dupree. I think it might be Dupree.
Yeah, it is Dupree. Yeah, I mean that's a huge.
Yeah, that's a big
hit.
loss. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Browns are going to win the North. The Steelers have to have an all-time collapse for the Browns to win the North. They face the Bills.
See the Steelers losing like 2 more games this year.
They face the Bills, and I could see the Bills easily winning that game.
So that could be a loss.
I don't see the Bengals. I don't see the Bengals scoring more than 13 points against the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Colts? Do the Colts
Maybe.
have one more big game?
That's a
in
good
them?
game. That's an interesting matchup.
They
So
beat
that could
the
be 2 losses
Packers.
there.
I mean, they beat the Packers. There's no reason they can't beat the Steelers, right? Am I going crazy?
Right. Not.
They beat the Titans. They've
Dude, what if it's week 17 and the Browns and Steelers are playing for the division? How hype would that be?
Dude, I'd lose my mind. I would legitimately be a nervous wreck the entire game.
That'd be crazy.
The Colts haven't. The Colts have had a cupcake schedule. They lost to the Jaguars. They beat the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings have turned into a somewhat solid team these past couple weeks. They're
inconsistent. They almost lost to the Jaguars last week.
Yeah.
Until the Jaguars were like, "Oh yeah, we're tanking. All right, Vikings have this one."
Justin Jefferson's come alive though. He's been awesome.
Oh, it hurts.
Why?
Because they just got rid of Diggs. Now they have Jefferson, and I think we had the opportunity to get Jefferson.
I don't know if they would have had.
Well, I wanted him.
They could have traded up. There's no reason they couldn't have traded up.
We traded up.
You trade up for Jordan Love.
I'm not even gonna waste my breath. We're still better than the Vikings. All right,
it's okay. You got a tight end though out of it. You could have, with the pick that you got that tight end, you could have probably traded up your first and third and maybe like a fifth or something, right in front of the Vikings, with the Eagles who took Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, we're in front of the Vikings. We're gonna get Justin Jefferson, so the Vikings don't get him. But instead, your division rival, the Minnesota Vikings, got Justin Jefferson. And you traded up for a quarterback. Thoughts, Matt?
I'm not mad. I'm not going to say anything until I see what Jordan Love's about.
All
That's all I'm gonna
right.
say.
I
That's all
would
I'm
be
gonna say.
furious.
Listen, it's really hard not to be furious, but we got a great team right now.
Mhm.
Okay, we're still one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but Devontae
And
Adams and Justin Jefferson.
that's yummy. But anyways, I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything because you know what? What's gonna happen when Jordan Love turns out to be a stud? Where all these takes gonna go?
Then I'll
Where
tell you,
where
when he turns out to
Cowherd's
be,
overreacting, saying the Packers just completely blew it in this draft. Clearly, they didn't completely blow it as they're looking towards the future because they thought they had enough pieces. But I thought we didn't have enough pieces to win a Super Bowl. But here we are. It looks like we have enough pieces to potentially win a Super Bowl here. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything until I see how everything works out.
right, when Jordan Love turns out to be a stud, it's going to be good for the Broncos or somebody like that because Aaron Rodgers is going to make them trade Jordan Love to the Broncos, and then Rodgers is going to
If this
retire.
is Aaron Rodgers last year as the Packers quarterback, I'm going to be furious regardless because he is having one of his best years. It's not quite 2011 Aaron Rodgers, but it's up there with 2014 Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, all right, all right. Is there anything else we need to cover on the NFL? Saints and Chiefs are good. That's about all I can give as a take.
Saints and Chiefs are good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say anything nice about Taysom Hill. I really don't. I just don't get
But
it.
once Drew Brees comes back,
Dude, I think Drew Brees will be back by the playoffs.
yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, he should be.
I think he could go maybe later in the regular season, but I think they're just gonna they might give him a game, couple like 2 quarters in one game to get him back into the swing of things. But I don't know. Rib injuries are tough though. That's tough.
All right.
You just need time.
All right, Matt. Let's move into NFL awards. So we'll go. Let's go Coach of the Year first. Who do you have for your Coach of the Year?
Coach of the Year. I had 5 people listed, but ultimately I gave it to Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, that's a tough one to beat. I mean, if the Steelers would have went undefeated this year, I probably would have given it to Tomlin.
I had him second. I had Flores third, LaFleur fourth, and Sean Payton fifth.
Yeah, so right now I have Stefanski first. I have Flores first or second. I have Sean McDermott third, and then Mike Tomlin as fourth, and then like Andy Reid, Pete Carroll, Cliff Kingsbury, and all of them as fifth.
Oh, yeah, Andy Reid's just so good that like Reid and Belichick are just so good at their jobs that they just don't even get considered for these awards anymore for Coach of the Year.
I will say, if Washington somehow wins out, I could absolutely see Rivera winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah. There's a lot of good coaches, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move to Offensive Player of the Year. Who do you have?
I gave it to Derrick Henry, but I really wanted to give it to Devontae. But I went Henry, Devontae Adams, Dalvin Cook, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Those were my 5.
Derrick Henry, huh?
Yes.
I don't think Derrick Henry deserves to be anywhere in that list.
Listen, everyone called him a god until the Browns game happened. So I don't know where Derrick Henry is suddenly not the best running back in the NFL.
He has twice as many carries as like all the other running backs in the league, and only like 400 more.
Is that a diss? Is it a diss that he's that durable and that
no,
like,
absolutely not. But I think
can carry an offense in 2020. A running back can carry an offense.
His numbers are not as good as what people think they are.
Yeah, I don't really talk about numbers. I talk about like just like
numbers
when
are
I
a big part of this, Matt.
Oh, for these awards, yeah, I would definitely say so.
So for my Offensive Player of the Year, I would say it's Devontae Adams.
Heck yeah!
I think Alvin Kamara is a very close second.
He just missed the cut for me.
Then it would go Dalvin Cook, DK Metcalf, and then Travis Kelce for me.
It's so hard to give it to a Chief because they got so many freaking weapons. Where it's like, yeah, you should get open. There's so many people that the defense has to cover.
That, but Kelsey's a tight end, and he's like third in the league in receiving yards. So, I mean...
That's pretty good.
that's an important part of why I have him in my list. All right, Defensive Player of the Year.
I had Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I have Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald as one and like A1 and A2. I
Yeah.
it's a toss up. If Myles Garrett has a dominant end of the year, if he like gets to Lamar Jackson once or twice, and then gets
Oh baby.
like two sacks each game the rest of the year, which I think is very
He's got some
possible.
primetime games coming up. That's really important.
I think he could win it even with missing a few games, but yeah, it's either Donald. I think it'll probably just become Donald just because of all the games that Garrett's missed. It'll be Donald, Garrett, TJ Watt for me.
I had I had Watt third, Roquan Smith fourth, and Zadarius Smith fifth.
I'm not good
I was
enough.
thinking I was thinking of a corner, but it's like these awards really never go to corners. It's pretty much a pass rusher or linebacker kind of an award.
I will say if Denzel Ward would have stayed healthy, he would have been up there for defensive player of the year. He was like one of the only he's only the only pieces holding that Browns defense apart.
I can see that, yeah.
All right, offensive rookie of the year.
Justin Jefferson. Just kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
I had Jefferson first, James Robinson second, Herbert third, Antonio Gibson fourth, T. Higgins
so
fifth.
Alex Smith.
Antonio Gibson is a good one.
But he just went down, so that's gonna hurt him.
Yeah, he's got some nice turf toe going on. See, now you just brought up all those names, and I don't know how to vote anymore.
Wait, who'd you have beforehand, though?
So my number one guy was Justin Herbert, but he just had a really bad game, and Justin Jefferson just makes a lot of sense.
I think it's got to go to Jefferson. Like, he's an elite receiver this year, and he's a freaking rookie. That's tough, especially when Kirk Cousins is your quarterback. Oh my God!
Who did you say were your other guys? You said
James Robinson. And he's like third or fourth in rushing yards this year.
Right.
Herbert, who's having a pretty good rookie year. Gibson, who's been a big surprise, and then Higgins has been solid all year for the Bengals.
Solid, yeah. All right, yeah, I'll go. I'll say Justin Jefferson will also win it. I think James it'll be. Yeah, let's go Jefferson, Robinson, Herbert. After that, it's probably just a toss-up. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire belongs in there.
Oh yeah, he was. I thought about him, but I wanted to put Antonio Gibson in there.
I really want to put Joe Burrow as somewhere in there, even though he's went down because he had such a good start of the season.
He's such a good start. I think it was him or Jefferson if Burrow stayed healthy.
If Burrow doesn't go down, it's Joe Burrow unanimously.
Unanimously, he says. Oof.
Defensive rookie of the year.
I went with someone that probably won't win. I went Antoine Winfield Jr.
He's my number one as well.
Oh, really? Heck,
yeah.
Okay. Everyone's been talking about freaking Chase Young or that dude for Carolina, Jeremy Chin.
Yep,
No one's talking about Antoine Winfield Jr. That dude's freaking
awesome.
legit.
He's legitimately been great this year.
Every game I've watched of the Buccaneers, Antoine Winfield Jr.'s made some really big plays, and he's just played amazingly.
Yeah, mine for the defensive rookie of the year would go Antoine Winfield Jr. Julian Blackmon from the Colts, who nobody's talking about either.
Oh yeah,
he's been awesome for the Colts. And then it would go Chase Young, Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, I had Winfield, Chase Young, Patrick Queen, Jeremy Chin, and then Michael Walker from the Falcons, who's been having a sneaky little year.
That's a good
just because that Falcons defense has been looking like it's been picking up a little bit, and Michael Walker's been having himself a pretty good little run.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you're right. Nobody's talking about Antoine Winfield Jr. And then Julian.
He's probably not going to win it, which is going to suck.
It's going to be Chase Young, right? Like, I feel that's just
probably.
Like when it comes to media voting and all that, it's probably going to be Chase Young, which it's not saying he doesn't deserve it. Chase Young's been awesome this year.
Yeah, he's had a great year.
But I think Winfield Jr.'s been sneaky, and so is Julian Blackmon. I'm surprised not many people are talking about Julian Blackmon because he's been awesome for the Colts. All right. Comeback player of the year, Matthew. No. I'm sorry. You want to do this or MVP first?
Let's just do MVP. I want to save that.
Who do you have for your MVP?
I got Rodgers. Mahomes. It's really hard not to give it to Mahomes, but man, when you look at Chiefs got a solid defense, plenty of weapons, a solid offensive line. There's really no holes in this Chiefs team. But when I gave it to Rodgers just because that defense is sus. Offensive line looks good, running game's good, and you have Devontae Adams, and that's about it. and Tanyan's look pretty good, but I'd give it to Rodgers.
Yeah, I'd say one. They've had very comparable years when it comes to numbers wise. Like, there's not too much deviation between the two. And when you look,
I think turnovers is a big thing, and Rodgers has 4, and Mahomes has 2.
right,
So,
and when you look at what they're working with, obviously Rodgers has the lower end. It's him and Mahomes' award to lose, with probably Russell Wilson coming in a very distant third, and probably like Kamara.
I had Russell Wilson in 5th for me.
Wow.
Just because he's been having some really bad games, or just too many turnovers, I should say, not bad games. Just because that Seahawks team just relies so much on him. But I had Aaron Donald 3rd, and Derrick Henry 4th, and then Russell Wilson 5th. But I don't know. Usually the MVP, it really depends on what the media coverage looks like. And for right now, I'd say a lot of good publicity right now for Aaron Rodgers. So I'm gonna lean towards him.
Yeah,
but who knows? Maybe he has another game like the Buccaneers game, and it just kicks him out.
I think Kamara Wilson and Devontae Adams are all coming in a very distant 3rd, 4th, and 5th, not respectively.
Oh, yeah, Devontae too. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go with Mahomes. I mean, it just makes sense. I'm sorry, Rodgers. I think Rodgers should.
You know what? I hope Mahomes wins it, because when's the last time a regular season MVP won a Super Bowl? It's been a while. I think it was Kurt Warner was the last one. So you know what? Take it, Mahomes. Take it.
Mahomes win the MVP last year?
That was Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He rushed for a bunch of yards and was like, oh, my God, he's a great quarterback. All right.
Oh, boy. Listen, he got exposed this year. What are you still mad about?
I'm mad because I was saying it the entire time. Everyone was like, oh, no, Lamar Jackson, out of that entire 2018 NFL draft, it's obvious Lamar Jackson's the quarterback that you would pick first overall. It's like, no. I think I'd
take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson.
I'd take Baker Mayfield over Lamar.
I still gotta see more on Baker.
Baker and Josh Allen are a toss-up for me still.
Poor Sam Darnold. I really want to.
I think he could be a good quarterback.
I can't get a good read on him.
He's probably going to be the Cowboys.
I don't think anymore.
He'll probably be the Cowboys' next quarterback.
That would be a move. That'd be a sight.
I think Sam Darnold would play actually very well with the weapons that he has.
What about Josh Rosen?
He wasn't good.
I don't know.
But that's because he was young and he was put on 2 horrible teams.
Cardinals and Dolphins? Yeah, Dolphins.
Yeah. Like, if like the Browns sign Josh Rosen as a backup quarterback, I would not hate it at all, because it gives him time to sit on the bench. It gives him time to learn. It gives him time to develop. And if Baker goes down, there would be still Case Keenum in front of him, so it's not like he'd just be thrown into the mix of things. But
right,
like, I really like Josh Rosen. Is he bad? Yes, he is bad. Can he be good? I truly believe so. I think he could really develop into a solid.
I haven't seen anything from Josh Rosen to make me think, okay, yeah. I've watched like preseason. I've watched the times he's getting thrown in. I haven't seen it. I've seen it from Sam Darnold. It hasn't been very much, but I've seen it in Sam Darnold.
Darnold has had a lot of flashes.
I haven't seen it with Josh Rosen.
No.
To be fair, Darnold's had more opportunities than Rosen, but still.
Yep. And probably better weapons and
not
a better coach, though.
Not a better coach?
No.
Adam Gase is up for Coach of the Year.
He's executing a tank perfectly.
He is technically nominated.
Yeah, he's one of 35. Somewhere around.
What if a coach that gets fired ever wins Coach of the Year? That'd be weird.
Like, fired mid-season? Because, I mean, that happened with Dwayne Casey. He won Coach of the Year with the Raptors and was fired.
That off-season.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
All right, Matt, comeback player of the year. And why?
It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Why?
I don't care what anyone says of, like, dude, have you seen the E60 on Alex Smith? That freaking comeback is absolutely it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. He almost lost his life.
It is. It's absolutely a great story. It's a dang Disney movie. If Alex Smith could play good, he's not playing good. He's playing a washed up version of what Alex Smith used to be. Did you watch that Steelers game? What part of Alex Smith looked good to you?
Oh yes, that Steelers game where he was facing a very, very good defense with the
All right, fine.
very
At any
limited
point
weapons that he
this
has.
year, when does he look good? When does he look like, dude?
He's looked very
This
solid.
guy.
I mean,
That's what he's looking.
I'm not saying he's blown the roof off the place, but he's looked very solid this year.
He's made a lot of dumb decisions. He's made a lot of just, not keeping his head downfield. Like, frick, I'm Alex Smith. Here you go, running back. I haven't seen it.
He threw for 325 and 390 his first 2 games, and then
I said the same thing. I look at Alex Smith.
He threw for 296 against that very good.
Every time I look at the games he plays, I'm like, this is hilarious at how bad Alex Smith has looked. Great story, great comeback. I'm happy for
Steelers defense.
I'm happy for the kid.
Steelers defense, and beat them.
Well, what position did that defense give him? They gave that to him. It's very hard for Alex Smith to blow what the Washington football team, I almost said it, what that team looked like for him. I am not buying this Alex Smith just handing him the award because of this. Listen, it's a great story. I'm really happy for Alex Smith, but you've played like trash, my dude. I hate to admit it. And also, Big Ben Roethlisberger's comeback is no freaking sneeze, or it's just a simple torn ACL. That's usually the case. Ben Roethlisberger had a really tough comeback as well, and he's looked a lot better.
He has not looked a lot better. I think Big Ben has been very overrated this year. They have been carried.
I will say that. Yeah, he's like borderline top 15 maybe. I'm saying look at Alex Smith's QBR. The only QBR that's lower than Alex Smith, I think, is Sam Darnold or Drew Lock.
The QBR, the most defining
and quarterback
stat,
rating.
The most defining stat out of any QB.
Yes, let me look at yards. Let me look at Antonio Gibson running for 36 yards after I threw it 2 feet to him. Let me point to that stat. I have Ben Roethlisberger 1, Alex Smith 2, Bradley Chubb 3, Aldon Smith 4, Cam Newton 5, and Mitchell Trubisky 6, just because I love that he came back again.
Has Bradley Chubb had a good year?
He's been pretty solid this year.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, Alex Smith. Listen, Alex Smith, I'm happy for you. Alex Smith, you were a decent quarterback play away from a Disney movie, but they're gonna have to overhype your gameplay, which Sports Center and all these media outlets are doing. They're acting like Alex Smith is gonna take this team to a freaking Super Bowl. I don't know. He's not even gonna be the main reason if they win this division. If he wins this division, it's not because of Alex Smith.
All I'm saying is Alex Smith has been playing solid with a limited offense, while Ben Roethlisberger has been playing okay with a supposedly high-powered offense.
I think the Steelers' offense is just overrated. It's that plain and simple.
I think more high-powered. It's still more high-powered.
Deontay Johnson's inconsistent. Chase Claypool's inconsistent.
Sure.
Juju Smith-Schuster's making TikToks when he should be catching some freaking slants. I don't know what's happening. James Conner is running there's an open hole right here, and he's like, "Yo, let me head to the freaking outside." I don't know what's happening. The Steelers' offense is overrated. Ben Roethlisberger has made some really great throws. Ben Roethlisberger's made throws that I think Alex Smith couldn't even make in his prime.
No.
No?
No.
Dude, I'm so... Listen, I just hate how, anytime on Twitter I see Alex Smith did this, everyone's like, yeah, comeback player of the year. They should rename the award after him. What has he done this year? That's so good. And everyone's just going to look at his yards when he can't even... He's like Drew. He can't throw... He can throw far. He can throw like Tom Brady and just overthrow the receiver by 15 yards. It's really heroic. Listen, Alex, I'm proud of you. It was a scary injury. You almost freaking died. You're probably going to get that. You're probably going to get freaking Time Person of the Year while we're at it, but you shouldn't win Comeback Player of the Year. But you're gonna. So it doesn't matter what I say. You're going to win the award. Congratulations, Alex Smith. But you shouldn't win it.
And Ben Roethlisberger shouldn't win it either.
Listen, I hate the fact that I have to defend Alex Smith not winning it by saying Ben Roethlisberger should win it. But he's played better than Alex Smith.
You know who should win Comeback Player of the Year? Myles Garrett. Oh, Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, that would be good. That's Miles Garrett. Alex Smith, you're not winning this, or you're gonna win this award, but you shouldn't. I'm sorry.
Ben Roethlisberger. You
What
should.
happened to the comeback player of the year having some dude, tough injury? Yes, everyone thinks you're done, but then you prove them wrong, and you have an incredible year. Alex Smith, tough injury. No one thinks you can come back, and you really didn't. You're basically a washed version of yourself.
I'm sorry. Was anybody saying that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't going to be able to make a comeback?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
every
me.
Browns fan.
It was me.
Every Browns fan.
It was me. I'm that person.
I bet you I could find a clip from this show saying that.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I have talked about him.
Remember that video of him looking like a mountaineer?
Yeah, him soft tossing in that gymnasium.
Yeah, that's what Alex Smith has done this year. Is that video of Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh my god, dude! Like you really look at Ben Roethlisberger's stats, and you're just like, oh, those are just so underwhelming this year.
It is.
Then what are we talking about here, Matt? You're talking about underwhelming stats versus underwhelming stats, while this guy's underwhelming stats have much better weapons and have had much more time to work through the entire season with a really good defense versus this guy who has one weapon in Terry McLaurin, a good running back in Antonio Gibson, and then a solid defense, but not as good as Alex Smith has nothing as good as what the Steelers have.
I will give you that. But am I going to make that argument for Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and Drew Lock, who are playing at an equal level to Alex Smith?
Yeah, but none of them are good. Besides Sam
None
Darnold.
of them are good. And Alex Smith isn't good this year. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, and I bet you no one can agree.
Alex Smith is not great, but neither is Ben Roethlisberger.
Because no one's watching Washington. They're just watching his box score, and they think Alex Smith is playing good.
Hey, at me.
They just take a look. They just take a look. They just take a look at Alex Smith's box score. They're like, dude, this is the most incredible thing that's happened in football.
It is pretty incredible.
And it is. It's a great comeback. But everyone, I guarantee you there's no one but Steelers fans that are going to agree with me. Because everyone just thinks
that's how you know you're on the right side of history, is when a bunch of Steelers fans agree with you.
Yes, when a bunch of idiots look at
way to find just such a low class of humans.
I know.
To agree with.
I know, that's how
fans.
skewed it is. I feel like I'm Alex Jones over here with these conspiracy theories where I'm like, they're putting chemicals in the water that make Alex Smith look elite. I don't know what's going on Twitter. Alex Smith, it's a great, I guess that documentary on E60 was really convincing. It's an incredible comeback, and I keep saying that.
It's globalist.
I don't know.
It's globalist. They're going to give Alex Smith the MVP this year. This is the InfoWars.
I don't know even why we're debating this much about it, because Alex Smith's going to win it unanimously.
Yeah, probably.
Because they want a good headline, good feel-good story over actually making the award mean something. And I tweeted something to you, and I said, what does the comeback player of the year award mean? Does it mean just how bad the injury and the comeback is to just get back on the football field, or is it based off of you came back from an injury, how good did you play, or is it a mixture of those two?
Right.
I think the first part, Alex Smith easily. Second part, Ben Roethlisberger easily.
Alex Smith,
but if you do some kind of mixture, it's
go ahead.
It's which one you put more stock in.
I agree.
That's all I think.
It is a mixture of how well you've played versus the severity of the injury that you have come back from and everything. So Alex Smith has come back from a devastating, almost career-ending injury and has played mediocre to okay football. Ben Roethlisberger has come back from a semi-major injury and has played mediocre.
Most players at his age, that would have been it for them.
Come back and played mediocre to okay football with a much more talented weapon system around him.
You're putting Ben Roethlisberger's play and Alex Smith's play in the same category.
It's because if Alex Smith had the same weapons and the same amount of time to play as Ben Roethlisberger has, then we'd be looking at just almost exactly the same seasons.
If Aaron Rodgers was on the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't even be in the MVP discussion.
But what if Patrick Mahomes was on the Packers?
It wouldn't be in the discussion.
What? No, they absolutely would be both in the same discussion.
How are you correcting me on this hypothetical where we have no idea?
It's because I know the truths that they don't want you to know.
Oh,
All right. Well,
I knew this was going to get annoying, but it doesn't matter what I say because Alex Smith's winning it. Congratulations, Alex. You've already accomplished more than I will ever accomplish in my life, so I should just shut my fat mouth.
I agree. Well, Matt, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, I've said my piece, and everyone hates me now.
I have too. All right. Well, thank you for.
I'm gonna clip this and put this on my YouTube. I'm gonna clip
That
this
sounds good.
just to get hate. I just want to hate.
That sounds good. Oh, make sure to clip the Champ Bailey and Calvin Johnson opinions as well.
That'll be my end card.
Right.
That'll be my end card.
All right. So thank you for watching Brown Mamba Show episode 24. Links,
Kobe.
socials.
That's who's good at number 24. Kobe. We forgot Kobe.
I know that guy. And yeah, thank you for watching. Alex Smith, Comeback Player of the Year.